Good evening, good evening, good evening. I just wanted to hop on here, guys, and do a little, announcement. I'm sure that a lot of you have already heard, but in case you have not, Donald Adelson has been found guilty on first degree murder, solicitation to commit first degree murder, and conspiracy in the death of her former son in law, DanMarkel. The judge was absolutely ready to do sentencing this evening, due to the fact that in Florida, the first degree murder charge is it's a life sentence, and in Florida, life is life, natural life. There is no parole or anything like that. So of course, the other two charges, she would be adjudicated guilty. Um, However, she put on her little Donna Adelson uh little fancy performance, doing the shakes, acting like she was crying. However, if you looked, there were no tears, no red eyes, nose wasn't running or red. Um, she wasn't even, your shoulders will like heave up and down when you're really, really crying. I mean, she was putting on a performance just like she told her daughter to. She was trying to put on the performance of her life. Well, life is exactly what she got. Um, and after let me get back to the sentencing. The judge was absolutely ready to do sentencing, but because she was acting the way that she was, the defense team did ask to do sentencing at a later time, and the judge agreed. So I believe her sentencing hearing it'll be before the end of the year. I think in October they'll have the little hearing where they go over the pre-sentencing stuff, and she'll be sentenced before the end of the year. But what we weren't expecting was this. Um, you know, Danny is from Canada, and his parents have been here through the whole trial, of course, as they have the others. And the prosecutor, and kudos to that, kudos to Georgia. Um, she asked that the judge allow the parents to be able to go ahead and do their um, what is it? Their victim impact statements. And so, literally within a 15-minute time period, Donna Adelson was found guilty of all three charges and had to face the family of DanMarkel, as she should. His father and his mother, his father Phil and his mother Ruth, they both did impact statements. But that, it basically, it enabled them to let this be the end of this part of their lives so that they can get on with it. Otherwise, they would have had to have come back to the United States for the sentencing hearing to give their victim impact statements. So kudos for that. As far now, what about Wendy? Well, a reporter after the hearing was over actually asked Georgia that, and her response was, "Stay tuned." So, is Wendy going to be next? I think I think there's a big possibility that she might be, but we'll have to see. But we do know with 100% certainty now that everyone who participated in the death of this, he was a young man, a young father, 41 years old when his life was taken. Wendy, of course, I'm sure that she knew about it, and she, of course, had to, be going with it. But, you know, um, we'll see. At least the people who actually did the crime, planned the crime, and paid for the crime, well, and who knows? I mean, Wendy may have paid a little bit too. They're put away for life now. And what is sad, and this was brought up by DanMarkel's father, was how many children now are literally having to live their lives without parents. Because every person who has been tried, found guilty, and sentenced to life in prison for this crime left behind children. And so, I mean, and the number, and I don't think that anybody has really thought a lot about that, during this case. Of course, you focus on the Markel children, living their lives without their father. But you don't really think about the fact that literally everyone else who has been tried, convicted, and sentenced to life in prison for this crime, all of them left behind young children. And that is just, that, I mean, and we all know that Donna was she was the one that, like she said, Gibbers hasn't beaten the Adelsons yet. Well, ma'am, I believe that Gibbers has got y'all beat. So rest in peace, DanMarkel. All right, you guys. Y'all have a great night, and I'll be back to you tomorrow with more. Always have fun. Be safe out there, and always know that you are loved. Loved you guys. Bye.